Joe Buck joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. And then in the fourth inning, you're in the middle of a promo for the grinder. And then I imagine at some point, did your headsets go out, or did Macheska from the truck tell you, by the way, we're off the air right now, Joe?
No, I mean, we couldn't even talk to the truck. Pete Macheska, our producer, and I just started texting, and he's asking me if they're still playing. And it was just, I guess, pitch black in the truck. Everybody got out because the generator blew, and they were worried that it was a hazardous situation. Again, from what I'm told, I'm not down there then, obviously, and so they evacuated the truck. And then it was, well, what the heck's going on? First, they stopped the game because the managers were alerted to the fact that New York didn't have a feed, so there would be no replay, and they stopped. And then Terry Collins was justifiably livid because Matt Harvey's just standing out there on the mound. Eventually, the managers agreed to play without replay ability. And so then it was surreal because then you're watching the game, and even though the MLB Network international feed is on, they're watching the World Series Game 1 in Trinidad, but they're not watching it in Omaha because it's not on Fox. So the game restarted, and they're playing it, and it's not on TV. So we were literally the only people in the United States, as much as I can tell, that were watching this World Series game that was like happening in a vacuum somewhere.
And so you're just like keeping score just to stay in the game as a broadcaster?
For a while, I just started doing it into the dead headset just because I didn't know if maybe you could hear me on your TV, but I just couldn't hear myself. So for a little while, we just kept doing the game, and that was odd. And then eventually, we just kept score, and then had the weirdest moment of all of it going over to the MLB Network International booth and tapping Matt Veskurgin and John Smoltz on the shoulder because that's how Fox wanted it. And said, well, we're taking over here. And that I texted both those guys today and said that, that was odd at best and uncomfortable, and thanks for being so cool about it. And they were laughing about it. So that wasn't an issue, but it could have been.
And so you eventually got a text saying, let's get you over to the MLB Network international feed booth because that's working. We'll tap into it for the broadcast for Fox. And then at some point, everything was normalized and you went back to your respective booths. Is that essentially what happened?
Yeah, everything sounded normal, looked normal. The headset sounded great. It just was back up. And I think the phenomenal part of the story is that we were back up within a half hour from a complete power outage with all those cameras and all the microphones and all the technology junk that's going into a game. There it was, popped back up, and, I guess America missed a few of the pitches, but none of the real action. So I thought it was a good scramble job by everybody to get those pictures up and then to get our truck back.
No doubt. And then you called 10 more innings because you saw...
Yeah, no, that's the thing. I mean, it's like, okay, and then you come back and you're thinking, well, we just missed a big chunk of the game. No, we didn't. We have another 3 hours to go.
Unbelievable, Joe.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.